Hi everyone, this is Heather, and today I am back with another product review from Totally Tiffany. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Card Maker's rotating design board. This is a smaller version of the regular rotating design board, which I did a previous video on. I will link in the description down below so you can check that out. This is a smaller version that is perfect for card makers. So the original was 11.5 by 9, and the Card Makers is 5.5 by 9. So it's really good for card making for smaller projects, and it's a little bit more portable and sized for making cards. I have to say that I have absolutely loved the original rotating design board. I have used it like crazy with my coloring books. It has made it so much more convenient with the clip and being able to turn the board and everything. I have just been using that like crazy. So I honestly love it. So I'm really excited about this newer size. So if you aren't familiar, the rotating design board is two very thick, sturdy boards, and in between is a metal rotating gizmo inside. And so that allows the bottom board to remain stationary while the top board rotates so that you can move it around instead of having to shift your paper. For somebody like me who's a lefty, this is really handy. I am constantly dragging my hand through ink and paint, so I really like being able to easily rotate my project so I'm not dragging my hand through anything. So on the back of the bottom board, there are no skid foam circles on all four corners, which is really convenient. And then there is a large alligator clip that is removable. This is a very heavy duty sturdy clip. It will hold the like a coloring book, the binding of a coloring book completely open. So it's very handy to clip your paper in place and work on the board. I also like that it's removable, so if you want to work this way, you can move the clip around to wherever you would like. So that is very handy. So I wanted to do a project with you today just to kind of show you how nice it is to be able to rotate your board around while you're working. And this is very handy for random stamping. If you're doing a lot of backgrounds and you can just stamp and turn the board, it's very convenient. So I'm going to be working this way, and we're actually not going to be needing the clip because I want to actually tape my project to the board. For some of your projects too, you might want to clip down a piece of scrap paper so that you don't get any ink on your board, especially if you're working with a permanent ink. So I've already stamped this adorable little bunny who is on a sled. This is a stamp from Lawn Fawn called Winter Bunny. And I have, because we're working with water, I have stamped that with black StazOn onto a hot press watercolor paper. And I'm going to take some washi tape and tape my project directly to the board because I want to give myself a nice little white border around what I am working on. So I'm just going to hopefully get that pretty straight and just tape that directly to the board. You could use any type of low tack tape, repositionable tape, or painter's tape. Works really nicely for this technique as well. So try and get that as straight as you can because it's almost going to form a little bit of a matte border around. So I'm just going to take my washi tape and tape all four sides down. So now my paper won't slip, but I can still rotate my board around. Okay, so I've taped my project with the washi tape to my board, and I'm taking a permanent black pen, and I want to give the bunny just a little bit of a hill, so like he's sliding down the hill. So I'm just taking my permanent black pen so that it won't run and drawing a little hill on there. And so we're going to leave this part white because we want it to be snowy. And then I'm going to take my watercolor pencils and add a little bit of color. I'm going to add some red to the scarf. I love that that scarf is kind of flying away in the wind. Like that. And I'm using a water brush. If you're not familiar with those, they have a empty channel in the barrel that you fill with water so that you don't have to take your brush to a cup of back and forth to a cup of water, but you can just use any kind of paintbrush that you might have. It's just added some color to that scarf, and I'm going to give my bunny a little bit of gray. I'm going to leave his little cottontail white. I don't want to put too much gray on here because I just want him to be kind of a pale gray. And off to the side here I have a paper towel, and so usually every once in a while when I need more water on the bristles, I'll just kind of squeeze my brush onto the paper towel so that I'm not actually squeezing it onto my project so I don't get a big blob of water on there. So I've just given him I hope you can see that on camera, just a little tint of gray. Now clean off my brush and grab a brown watercolor pencil, and I'm going to color in the base of the sled with some brown and color that in. So just quick and simple. And now I want to do a watercolor wash on the background. So this is where the rotating design board really comes in handy. So I've got my watercolor palette here. I'm just going to pick up a little bit, take it over to my tray and mix it in with some water and pick some up on my brush. So now, because I have all this area to color in, sorry, I think I need a little bit more paint. I kind of watered it down too much because I have all this area here to color in. Here we go, got a nice big blob of water there. So this way I'm not dragging my hand through that wet paint. And I can turn the board as I'm working to avoid that really wet paint. So I'm just getting a nice wash, kind of avoiding the bunny, and I'm going right to the edge of my tape there. Pick up a little bit of a heavier. So see, this way too, I can just kind of get in there, pull that color around. And see, now instead of having to worry about dragging my hand through there, I've rotated the board. And I'm doing this quickly, so I apologize if I get a little bit of the blue color maybe where I might not want it to be. Put a little bit more color here. Get in between that, the scarf. And see, I'm putting quite a bit of water on the paper for that wash, but I'm not dragging my hand through it because I can move it. I can move it around. So I've taken that all the way to the edge of my washi tape. And you can see I did get a little bit of the blue on the scarf, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Okay, I just wanted to give you an idea. So now we can pull the washi tape away, and we have a pretty white, whoops, Go really slow when you do this so that you don't tear your paper. Like I said, I'm doing this quickly. Let's see if we can. So go real slow with that. I tore just a little bit of the paper there, but you get the idea. So you can see I've got that nice pretty border around there, and this was so easy to place on my rotating board and work without dragging my hand through that wet paint. So I really think that this smaller size of board is going to come in really handy. I love that it's still got the large clip like the other side. It is very sturdy, does not slip with the grips on the bottom, and it completely rotates and turns 360 degrees. Really, really fun. So I just want to give you a quick look at the card maker size of the rotating design board from Totally Tiffany. I will link in the description box below to my other video of the standard size design board, rotating design board, and also where you can purchase this size directly from Totally Tiffany. So I hope you enjoyed this product review today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please check out my channel. I have other product reviews and card making tutorials, and I hope you have a fantastic day. This is Heather. Thanks for joining me. Bye.